Everybody, welcome to Discovering Space. How are you all doing? So I've been doing a little series of the tours, so we'll continue with Saturn and Titan. Dips into Titan's thick atmosphere on the way to a close-up encounter with Saturn and its icy rings. Let's have a look. We are our little spaceship.
Directly ahead, Saturn, one of the most well-known of all our planets. A great gaseous ball surrounded by mysterious rings. It is the sixth planet from the Sun, and can clearly be seen from Earth. But, before we visit Saturn, we will make a stop at Titan, one of Saturn's moons.
Beautiful. Lovely. I love learning things.
Although Saturn has over 50 moons altogether, Titan is the largest, and the only one that possesses a substantial atmosphere. In fact, this atmosphere is so thick, it enshrouds and conceals the entire planet, making remote visual observations of its surface impossible. Let us go down through this atmosphere and discover what is underneath this vast cloak.
Okay.
Hold on. This is a thick atmosphere of nitrogen and methane clouds, and we are in for a bit of a bumpy ride. Here we are. Take a moment to look around at the strange and alien landscape. As we can see, it has the appearance of islands, rising out of a huge lake. The lakes contain not water, but methane and ethane. Exploration of the surface by a small exploratory lander, Huygens, which took place only a few years ago, suggests that the island-like structures may be made of a wet sand-like substance. If we were to venture towards the south pole of this moon, we would find a vast lake that reaches down to over 35 meters deep. The chemical makeup of this moon's atmosphere contains many of the same elements that make up our Earth's atmosphere, although the lack of sunlight due to its density makes it much colder. Despite this icy and uninviting environment, the similarity between the Earth's water cycle and a similar methane-based one may mean that the possibility of life existing here could one day become a probability.
Oh.
Man's exploration of this world is only just beginning, and conceptual missions such as a submarine to explore the vast lakes are being considered. It is time to leave this eerie but wondrous world. As we head up once again through this secret-holding atmosphere, and out of the other side, observe the splendor of Saturn. From this distance we can fully appreciate Saturn's magnificent rings. These beautifully striking disks can clearly be seen from our own planet, and gives Saturn its prominence. As we get nearer, let us find out a little more.
Scale of this game is absolutely fantastic.
We can quite clearly see three main bands illuminated by the sunlight, with the middle being slightly more transparent. We can also notice a very thin outer ring.
It's cold out.
Closer inspection revealed that there are in fact 7 rings in total. These hoops of light are thought to be kept in place by the many tidal moons of Saturn. Made up of chunks of ice that range from pebble size to building-like proportions, the rings spread up to 250,000 kilometers across, but are only a kilometer thick. As we move closer towards the planet's atmosphere, notice the bands of color that make up its surface. Although not as defined as bands on other gas giants such as Jupiter, there are clear distinctions of yellow, orange and gold. These are caused by high-speed jet stream wind in the upper atmosphere, combining with heat from the planet's interior. The large white clouds that you can see hovering above are formed of ammonia and leave spectacular trails across the sky. Saturn is indeed a planet that has formidable weather conditions. As well as its fierce winds, the planet also produces spectacularly dramatic lightning storms. Although fairly infrequent, due to the extended time it takes for Saturn's heavy water droplets to rise, when they do occur, they can cover an area roughly the size of our planet and can last for many months, circumnavigating the gas giant in the process. Particularly prominent during the summer months, these intense storms can produce 10 flashes per second, which makes for a superstorm that is remarkable for us to witness. Let's head away from the surface, out to a greater distance, and swing around to get a better view of the polar regions. You will see Saturn again overhead in a few moments. We can now get a clearer view of the entire ring system and the clear banding. You may notice at this point a strange hexagonal structure around the North Pole region. This strange phenomena with its sharp regular angles is fascinating and intriguing, but there is in fact a simple explanation. It is caused by the slow circulation of Saturn's atmosphere, combined with a strong jet stream that whips across it. This mixing of wind creates large vortexes that distort the circular pattern into a stable hexagon. Now, if you look closely at the rings, you can see dark spoke-like entities. These are thought to be formed of tiny dust particles pushed to the surface. These spokes appear and disappear throughout the year, but are at their most visible during the equinox season. As to where the rings come from, a theory linked to this is that they were formed when a satellite was ripped apart, and the outer layers were then drawn towards Saturn. Although in our minds the rings are synonymous with the planet that they surround, there is some suggestion that the rings are fragile and temporary. If this is true, then this adds to the evidence that the rings will continue to get smaller and one day disappear forever. We realize that although there is much more to know and explore of this planet, we are very lucky to have the information from explorations such as Pioneer, Voyager and Cassini probes that have provided us with thought-provoking insight into this most famous of planets in our solar system. We will soon be coming to the end of our tour. Take a moment to look around. We finish with a view few get to see. What a beauty she is.
Fantastic. Great scale, great tour. Did you enjoy that? Yeah. There we go. That was beautiful. So see what the next one is, Lee. We shall be going to find Apollo, maybe. Encountering a comet, 67P. Inner planets. Venus, Mercury, and the Sun. And the far side of the moon. So you have a great selection of tours in Discovering Space. The free flight's very good, Lee. Anyway, as I say, thanks very much for watching. And I will catch you in the next one. Much love from outer space. Bye.